one match. One hero. One legend. Every football fan remembers at least one match that changed everything. A match where the atmosphere felt different long before the referee blew the opening whistle. A match where millions of people around the world stopped whatever they were doing just to witness history unfold. Stadiums have hosted thousands of games, but only a handful become legendary. This was one of those nights. The excitement began days before kickoff. News channels covered every detail, football experts debated every possible outcome, and social media exploded with predictions. Fans from every corner of the world proudly wore their team's colors, believing that victory belonged to them. Hotels near the stadium were fully booked. Streets were filled with singing supporters carrying flags, scarves, and banners. The city hosting the match transformed into the center of the football universe. Both teams had earned their place through determination, discipline, and unforgettable performances. Their journey had not been easy. Every round demanded courage, every victory required sacrifice, and every mistake had nearly ended their dreams. Yet they survived every challenge and finally stood only 90 minutes away from glory. One team was known for its brilliant attacking football. Their quick passing, intelligent movement, and fearless style had destroyed many opponents throughout the tournament. Their forwards scored beautiful goals, while their midfield controlled matches with remarkable confidence. The other team represented resilience. They defended with incredible organization, counterattacked with speed, and never gave up regardless of the score. Many experts believed they were underdogs at the beginning of the competition, but they had proven everyone wrong by defeating several football giants. As the players arrived at the stadium, cameras followed every step. Some looked calm and focused, others wore serious expressions, knowing this might become the biggest night of their careers. The pressures was impossible to ignore. Millions of viewers were watching from homes, sports bars, public squares, and giant outdoor screens across the globe. Inside the dressing room, silence filled the air. The coach gathered everyone together. He reminded them that talent alone would not decide the winner. Discipline, teamwork, belief, and courage would matter far more than individual skill. Every player understood the message. They had trained for years for this single opportunity. Across the hallway, the opposing coach delivered a similar speech. He reminded his squad that legends are not created during easy victories. Legends are born during moments when the entire world doubts them. Outside, more than 80,000 supporters created an unforgettable atmosphere. Every seat was occupied. Flags waved endlessly. Chants echoed through the stadium. Fireworks illuminated the evening sky while television helicopters circled above, capturing breathtaking aerial shots. Then came the moment every footballer dreams about. The players stepped onto the pitch. Children walked beside their heroes holding their hands. Cameras zoomed in on emotional faces. Some players smiled confidently. Others closed their eyes during the national anthem, trying to control their emotions. For many veterans, this could be their final opportunity to win the greatest prize in football. The referee checked both captains. The coin toss was completed. Everything was finally ready. The whistle blew. The opening minutes were tense. Neither side wanted to make the first mistake. Every pass carried enormous importance. Every tackle was met with loud cheers from thousands of fans. The attacking team immediately tried to dominate possession. Their midfielders exchanged quick passes, searching patiently for space behind the defensive line. The defending team remained organized. Instead of chasing the ball recklessly, they stayed compact and forced their opponents toward the wings. After 10 minutes, the first real opportunity arrived. A brilliant through ball split the defense completely. The striker sprinted toward goal with only the goalkeeper standing in his way. The stadium held its breath. He struck the ball powerfully. But the goalkeeper reacted brilliantly. With an incredible diving save, he pushed the shot around the post. The crowd erupted. Supporters celebrated as though a goal had already been scored. That single save immediately lifted his team's confidence. The match became faster. Midfield battles intensified. Every challenge grew harder. Players fought for every loose ball, refusing to surrender even a single inch of space. 20 minutes into the game, another dangerous attack developed. This time the underdogs launched a lightning-fast counterattack. 3 quick passes completely changed the direction of play. Their winger raced down the left side before delivering a perfect cross into the penalty area. The striker jumped higher than everyone else. Agon. His header looked unstoppable. Agon. The goalkeeper produced another spectacular save. Football fans around the world could hardly believe what they were watching. Both goalkeepers were performing at the highest possible level. As the first half continued, fatigue slowly began to appear. Players covered enormous distances. Every sprint demanded maximum energy. Every decision became increasingly important. The commentators repeatedly reminded viewers that finals are often decided by one single moment, one mistake, one opportunity, one hero. Near the 30-minute mark, the match's central figure quietly started changing the rhythm of the game. He wasn't scoring goals yet. He wasn't celebrating. He wasn't demanding attention. Instead, he focused on doing the small things perfectly. Every pass reached its target. Every tackle won possession. Every run created space for teammates. While fans mostly watched the ball, experienced analysts noticed something different. This player was slowly taking complete control of the match. His teammates trusted him with every attack. Whenever pressure increased, they immediately passed him the ball. He never panicked. He remained calm. Every touch displayed confidence earned through years of hard work. The opposition also recognized the growing danger. Two defenders now stayed close to him almost constantly. Yet, somehow he continued finding tiny pockets of space. His football intelligence seemed several steps ahead of everyone else. As halftime approached, tension inside the stadium reached another level. Neither side had scored. But everyone sensed something extraordinary was coming. The tempo increased dramatically. Players threw themselves into tackles. Defenders blocked powerful shots with their bodies. Midfielders refused to stop running. The supporters became louder with every passing minute. Then came the biggest chance of the first half. A perfectly timed pass unlocked the defense. The hero received the ball just outside the penalty area. He controlled it with his first touch. A defender rushed toward him. Instead of shooting immediately, he calmly dribbled past one opponent. Another defender appeared. He escaped with remarkable balance. Now, only the goalkeeper remained. The stadium stood frozen. Millions watching around the world leaned closer to their screens. He prepared to shoot. Just as his foot connected with the ball, a defender launched a desperate sliding tackle. The shot changed direction. The ball struck the outside of the post. For a split second, everyone believed it had gone in. Instead, it rolled harmlessly wide. The entire stadium gasped in disbelief. The hero dropped to one knee, disappointed, but determined. His teammates quickly encouraged him. The coach applauded from the touchline. He knew that player was getting closer, very close. The referee looked at his watch. Moments later, the halftime whistle echoed throughout the stadium. The score remained 0-0, but the numbers told only a small part of the story. This had already become a battle of courage, intelligence, discipline, and belief. Neither team was willing to surrender. Both still believed the trophy belonged to them. Inside the dressing room, players drank water while catching their breath. Coaches adjusted tactics, analyzed weaknesses, and prepared for one final push. Everyone understood that the second half would decide far more than a football match. It would decide who would become the hero, and who would become a legend. One match, one hero, one legend. As the players walked back onto the pitch, the atmosphere inside the stadium felt even more intense than before. The first half had ended without a goal, but nobody believed this match would finish quietly. Every supporter remained on the edge of their seat, knowing that one moment could change football history forever. The referee checked both assistant referees, glanced around the packed stadium, and blew the whistle. The second half had begun. Immediately, both teams increased the pace. The passing became sharper, the tackles became stronger, and every attack carried real danger. It was no longer just about tactics. It was about heart, determination, and the courage to perform under impossible pressure. The attacking side looked more aggressive. Their coach had clearly instructed them to move the ball faster and create chances before the opposition could reorganize. The midfield pushed higher up the field, while the fullbacks joined every attack. The defending team responded with discipline. They stayed compact, blocked passing lanes, and waited patiently for opportunities to counterattack. Every player understood his responsibility. 5 minutes into the second half, the crowd erupted. A dangerous cross flew into the penalty area. The striker leaped above two defenders and powered a header toward the top corner. The goalkeeper reacted instinctively. With one incredible hand, he pushed the ball onto the crossbar. The ball bounced high into the air before defenders cleared it away. Supporters could hardly believe what they had witnessed. Commentators described it as one of the greatest saves of the tournament. The match continued at an unbelievable speed. Neither side wanted extra time. Neither side wanted penalties. Both teams wanted to win before the final whistle. As the clock reached the 60th minute, fatigue began affecting everyone on the pitch. Players who had been running tirelessly for an hour now struggled to recover after every sprint. Yet no one stopped fighting. Every challenge became harder. Every pass carried greater importance. Every mistake became more dangerous. Then came another opportunity. The underdogs launched a lightning-fast counterattack. 3 quick passes completely bypassed the midfield. Their winger raced toward goal. Only one defender stood between him and the goalkeeper. He cut inside. He fired a low shot toward the far corner. Agon, the goalkeeper, produced a brilliant save. For the 3rd time that evening, he kept his team alive. His teammates immediately surrounded him with applause. They knew they still had a chance because of him. But football has a strange way of creating heroes. Sometimes the player everyone expects delivers. Sometimes an unexpected star changes everything. Tonight, destiny had already chosen someone. The hero from the first half quietly continued controlling the rhythm of the game. He never rushed. He never claimed. He simply, for the perfect moment. His teammates trusted him completely. Whenever they faced pressure, they looked for him. Whenever they needed confidence, they passed him the ball. He responded with calmness every single time. As the 70th minute approached, substitutions were made. Head entered the field. The crowd welcomed every change with thunderous applause. Coaches shouted instructions from the sidelines. Every tactical adjustment could determine the champion. The next 10 minutes became the most dramatic period of the match. Attack followed attack. Shot followed shot. Save followed save. The stadium barely had time to breathe. One side struck the post. The other side cleared a shot off the goal line. The tension became unbearable. Supporters covered their faces with their hands. Some could no longer watch, others prayed silently. Millions around the world remained completely focused on their television screens. Then came the moment that would be remembered forever. The clock showed 83 minutes. The ball was recovered near midfield. Instead of clearing it long, one defender calmly played a short pass. The midfielder immediately found the hero. He received the ball with his back to goal. A defender closed him down instantly. Another moved in from the side. The stadium expected him to pass. Instead, he turned between both defenders with remarkable skill. Suddenly, open space appeared. The crowd rose to its feet. He accelerated forward. One more defender tried stopping him. A quick body feint sent the defender the wrong way. Now only the goalkeeper remained. Time seemed to slow down. The noise inside the stadium disappeared. For one unforgettable second, it felt as though the entire world had stopped moving. The goalkeeper rushed forward, attempting to close the angle. The hero looked up once. He saw exactly where the space was. Rather than striking with power, he gently lifted the ball. The shot floated beautifully over the goalkeeper. Everyone watched in complete silence. The ball dropped perfectly beneath the crossbar. Then, the net moved. The stadium exploded. Supporters screamed with pure joy. Players sprinted toward the corner flag. Some fell to their knees. Others embraced each other with tears in their eyes. The coach punched the air in celebration. The bench emptied as substitutes rushed onto the touchline. Commentators shouted over the deafening roar of the crowd. This is the moment. This is why football is called the beautiful game. The hero stood surrounded by teammates. He pointed toward the fans before raising both arms toward the sky. It was not an arrogant celebration. It was a moment of gratitude. Years of sacrifice, thousands of training sessions, countless disappointments. Every difficult moment had led to this single goal. But the match was not over. There were still several minutes remaining. The opposition refused to surrender. They threw everyone forward. Defenders became attackers. Long crosses filled the penalty area. Corner after corner tested the defense. Every clearance was celebrated like another goal. The goalkeeper made one final save deep into stoppage time. It was perhaps his most important of the entire tournament. The ball rebounded toward an opposing striker. Before he could shoot, a defender launched himself across the goalmouth and blocked the attempt. The crowd erupted once again. The referee looked at his watch. Supporters began counting down the final seconds together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The whistle blew. It was over. Players collapsed onto the grass. Some cried with happiness. Others stared silently at the sky. Unable to believe what they had achieved, the defeated team stood heartbroken. They had given everything. They had fought until the very last second. Sometimes football rewards effort. Sometimes it rewards one perfect moment. Tonight, that moment belonged to one man. As the trophy ceremony began, fireworks filled the night sky. Gold confetti covered the pitch. The captain lifted the trophy high above his head. Teammates celebrated wildly around him. The hero stood beside them, smiling quietly. His goal would appear in documentaries for years. Children would imitate it in parks and playgrounds. Fans would replay it thousands of times. Football historians would include it among the sport's greatest moments. But his legacy was about more than one goal. He showed that greatness is earned through patience, through discipline, through belief when nobody else believes, through remaining calm while the world watches. That night was never just another football match. It became a story passed from one generation of fans to the next. A story proving that legends are not born by chance. They are created through courage, sacrifice, and unforgettable moments. One match, one hero, one legend.